Indonesia's naval modernization is entering a decisive phase, and the potential acquisition and domestic construction of Arrowhead 140-based frigates represents a strategic inflection point. For decades, Indonesia's maritime forces have dealt with the inherent challenges of defending an archipelago spanning more than 17,000 islands. The traditional approach of nearshore patrol, coastal monitoring, and island-to-island force projection is now shifting toward a more advanced vision of maritime reach. The emergence of Arrowhead 140 in Indonesian planning signals that both the Navy and the national defense industry are preparing for a future where Indonesia can operate confidently beyond its immediate coastal waters. The Arrowhead 140 frigate is not just another imported foreign asset. Its core value lies in its modular architecture, allowing the Indonesian Navy to customize weapon systems, sensors, and combat suites according to operational doctrine. Unlike legacy platforms that come with fixed, vendor-locked systems, Arrowhead 140 is designed for adaptability. It enables Indonesia to combine European missile systems with Korean electronics, or integrate locally developed combat management solutions in later phases. This flexibility aligns perfectly with Indonesian strategic tradition, maintaining autonomy, resisting reliance on a single supplier, and preserving geopolitical neutrality in the international defense ecosystem. PT PAL, the national shipbuilding powerhouse, will be at the center of this transformation. The most significant development is not simply the possibility of Indonesia building Arrowhead 140 frigates at home, but the expected transfer of design authority. If Indonesia secures rights to modify, adapt, and evolve the Arrowhead platform into unique derivative models over time, then Indonesia will not just be assembling warships. It will be learning how to design them. That distinction separates conventional buyers from future naval powers. The technological confidence and industrial capability developed through this program will elevate PT PAL from a regional contractor into a recognized maritime defense developer, with the capacity to export platforms to friendly navies in Southeast Asia and possibly Africa. There is also a political strategic dimension that Indonesian audiences understand deeply. The country occupies a maritime zone that overlaps with major geopolitical routes: the South China Sea, the Malacca Strait, and the deeper blue waters of the Indian Ocean. While Indonesia does not endorse confrontation, it insists on maritime sovereignty. Indonesia's naval modernization is not an arms race. It is a statement of independent statecraft. The Arrowhead 140, therefore, is not a weapon of provocation, but a tool of deterrence and presence. When a nation can send modern surface combatants thousands of nautical miles from its shores, that nation earns maritime respect. Arrowhead 140 also aligns structurally with Indonesian geography. A platform capable of sustained operations in rough water conditions, outfitted with advanced anti-submarine warfare systems, and equipped with long-range sensors, gives Indonesia the ability to monitor and control the maritime domain across its vast economic exclusion zone. Combined with the growing naval infrastructure in Natuna, Sabang, Bitung, and Sorong, as well as aerial reconnaissance assets, Indonesia is developing a networked system of maritime awareness that strengthens national resilience. Current discussions emphasize variants of Arrowhead 140 that will likely feature vertical launching systems for air defense missiles, advanced hull sonar arrays for submarine detection, shipborne helicopters or UAVs for surveillance, and anti-surface strike capability. The Indonesians will not necessarily choose the same configuration as the United Kingdom or Poland. They may opt for South Korean or European missiles, perhaps radar from Thales or Hensoldt, or a mixed suite depending on cost-performance optimization. The goal is not to imitate others, but to localize the design to Indonesian doctrine, environment, and budget logic, which would be expressed in thousands or millions of Indonesian rupiah, not foreign currency shorthand. This ambitious capability-building program sits alongside other naval developments. The possibility of adding more Nagapasa-class submarines, upgrading Martadinata-class sensors, and further acquisitions of offshore patrol vessels. In the long run, these parallel lines converge into a Navy that is increasingly standardized, interoperable, and modular. Eventually, Arrowhead 140 may serve as the backbone of Indonesia's future surface fleet, replacing older corvettes and frigates that are becoming obsolete. Indonesia does not need the largest navy in Asia. It needs a smart navy, flexible, scalable, and independent. Beyond the hardware, the cultural and psychological dimension matters. Indonesian viewers often care not just about the platforms themselves, but about the dignity and maturity of the nation's defense posture. Producing our own warships rather than importing them reflects the spirit of Berdikari, standing on our own feet. For many Indonesians, this is the essence of national pride. When foreign analysts observe that Indonesia is emerging as a maritime naval force, the statement carries greater meaning because it is anchored in genuine domestic capability rather than showcase purchases. Looking toward the year 2035, one can envision an Indonesian Navy with several Arrowhead 140 derivatives, a strengthened submarine force, locally produced missile systems, and an increasingly confident defense industry exporting to friendly states. In that future, Indonesia will not merely patrol its waters, it will influence the maritime balance of Southeast Asia as a stable and responsible stakeholder. Arrowhead 140, in this context, becomes more than a ship. It becomes a symbol of transition from reliance to resilience, from procurement to innovation, from coastal defense to blue water potential. And for Indonesian audiences, the key takeaway is clear. Their Navy is not only modernizing, but modernizing with strategic wisdom and industrial self-determination.